A warm welcome to all my students. Today we will study about labor. In this chapter you will learn about the following: division of labor, inequality and discrimination in employment or labor, labor with pay and without pay, laborers of organized and unorganized sectors, challenges of unorganized laborers. So these are the topic we'll discuss in this chapter. In the previous session, we have learnt about division of labor. Next one, inequality and discrimination in employment or labor. These are the two topics which was discussed in the previous session. In today's session, we will discuss about laborers of organized and unorganized sectors. Next, challenges of unorganized laborers. So these are the two topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Laborers from organized and unorganized sector. This is a picture of organized sector and here it is unorganized sector. By seeing this picture, you could have understood the difference between organized sector and unorganized sector. Laborers from organized sector. Before learning about laborers from organized sector, the economy is divided as primary, secondary and tertiary sector. So these are the three sectors, remember: primary, secondary, tertiary sectors. Three sectors these are. And based on the security and the facilities available, the labor sector is further divided into organized and unorganized sector. Remember, the economy is divided into three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Similarly, based on the two things, security and facility available, the labor sector is further divided into organized and unorganized sector. So first we will learn about organized sector. The sector which is enrolled as per the law of the government and provided fixed wages, facilities within the framework of law is called organized sector. First, we will learn the definition of organized sector. A sector which is enrolled as per the law of the government and provides fixed wages and the facilities within the framework of law is called organized sectors. Remember, the law of the government is followed in this and provides a fixed wages and facility within the framework of law is called organized sector. This sector is guided by Minimum Wage Act, Wages Act. Remember, Minimum Wages Act. It is guided by the Minimum Wages Act. Second one is Factory Act. Third one, Employee Provident Fund Act. Employees Provident Fund Act. And many other acts in support of laborer. All these acts are being followed in organized sector. Remember, all these acts are followed in the organized sector. And those acts are Minimum Wages Act, Factories Act, Employees Provident Fund Act. And with this we have other act also So these acts are being followed in organized sector mainly to support the laborers. In organized sectors, institutions like school, hospital, industry, government-related services, commercial banks, life insurance companies, military and other comes. So, we should know which are the sector or which are the institutions coming under organized sectors. Those are school, hospital, industry, life insurance, bank, commercial banks, government related service and the military. These comes under the organized sectors. And these sector has to take the permission of government before it begins its function. So before organized sectors start their function, first thing is they have to take the permission from the government. So remember, first you should name which are the institution comes under organized sector. So those are school, bank, hospital, insurance company comes under the organized sector. So before starting, first thing is they have to take the permission from the government. After that, they start their functions. It is also mandatory for them to pay tax. Second one, it is responsibility of the institution to provide special facilities and provide employment security for the workers. Third one, it is mandatory for them to provide pay on specified date along with overtime pay whenever the workers have worked more than a stipulated time. This sector is guided by legal modalities. The relation between employee and employer is guided by legal provisions. So first one is they take the permission, then they start the function. And next one is it is mandatory, that is compulsory, they have to pay the tax to the government. Second one, it is a responsibility of the organization or the institute to give them special facility. At the same time, they have to provide employment securities for the workers. They have to give securities to the workers. And next one is, it is mandatory that they have to pay the salary, the time when they have fixed. The date what they have fixed, according to that, they have to pay the salary or wages to the employers. And next one is, whenever the laborers do overtime, they have to be paid for it. And the sector also guided by certain legal act. So remember, first one is they have to take the permission. Second one is they have to pay the tax. Third one is the workers or the laborers have to be provided special facilities. At the same time, provide employment security for the workers. And next one is to provide pay on specified date along with overtime pay. And next one is they have to follow all the legal act. The laborers in unorganized sector. The next one is laborers in unorganized sectors. Now we spoke about the organized sector. Now we will discuss about unorganized. Remember, I am talking about now unorganized sector. The unorganized sector of work is that sector where legal provisions do not completely govern. That means they will not follow all the rules and regulation implemented by the government. They do not follow all the rules and regulation implemented by the government. In this sector, the relation between the employer and employee is not guided by any legal provision. That is, the relation between the management and the labor is not guided by any legal provision. That is, the relation between the employer and employee is not guided by any legal provisions. There is no need for registration. This sector does not follow the legal provisions of the government. In organized sector, remember children, in organized sector, they do not follow all the rules and regulations. And the most important, the relation between the employer and employee is also not guided by any legal provinces. And next one is, there is no need for registration. So this sector does not follow any legal provisions of the government. There are no tax provision here. They include minor transaction, vehicle repair, selling of goods like vegetables, fish on head, puncture repairs and other belongs to this sector. There is no fixed time or duration on this work. Moreover, they work day and night without break. Most of the laborers in the sector earn daily wages. Minimum wages in this sector usually stay below the mandatory pay fixed by the government, and the laborers won't receive any medical benefit or overtime benefit. So here, as I told you about the organized sector, in unorganized sector, you will see vice versa. That is, in organized sector, I told you, they have to pay the tax compulsory. But here, no tax provision here. And here you will see a minor transactions. The institution, which you call it minor transaction. You don't give an example of institution. We call it as minor transaction. Example for unorganized sector are vehicle repair, sellings of goods like vegetable, fish on head, puncture repairs and other belongings to the sector. These are the example for unorganized sector. There is no fixed time. So here you don't have any fixed time. They work day and night without a break. And most of the laborers who work in unorganized sector earn daily wages. They get the wages every day. So we call them as daily wages. Most of the workers under unorganized sector earn daily wages. Here, the minimum wage in the sector usually stay below the mandatory pay fixed by the government. The government has fixed the salary, how much salary should be given to each labor according to their work. Has been fixed by the government. But here in unorganized sector, rarely they get according to the minimum wages. Always it is below minimum wages. They receive their pay. And they also do not get medical benefit or overtime benefit. They do not get any paid leaves. Laborers like construction workers, loading and unloading workers, brick kiln workers, landless labourers, small and marginal farmers, fishermen, beedi workers, mine workers, and many such labourers belong to the sectors. Example for unorganized sector children. The labours like construction workers, loading and unloading workers, landless labourers, small and marginal farmers, fishermen are the example for unorganized sectors. The fact that most of the labourers work in unorganized sector denotes the condition of workers in India. In total, 90% of labourers work in unorganized sector. 90% of the labourers work in unorganized sector. Next, we will learn about the challenges faced by unorganized sector, that is, problems faced by the unorganized sectors. Labourers working in unorganized are facing many social and economic problems. They do not have fixed work schedule, fixed pay or assured benefit, and even they do not get fixed wage also. So they face two types of problems, social and economic problem. They do not have any fixed schedule, fixed pay or assured benefit. Even they do not get fixed wage also. The first major problem, migration. In the book Foot Loser, a study of circular migration is done. It studies that laborer of people working in unorganized sector. Foot losers. It is regarding a study connected with a labor of people working in unorganized sector. It studies inevitability of the people to migrate from their place living to place working is studied in this. Migration is one of the main features of unorganized sector. Laborers of unorganized sector migrate from one place to another in search of work. The people who migrate like this have no social security. Meaning of migration: people moving from one place to another. Here we are discussing the problem of unorganized sectors. That is, the laborers who are working in unorganized sectors. Those laborers of unorganized sector migrating from one place to another, mainly for work. They are moving from one place to another in search of work. The people who migrate like this have no social security. So next point we will discuss about social security. Unorganized sector workers face social insecurity. Social security means having minimum need to lead a life like housing, health, water, food, drinking water, equal opportunity to work and others. So these are the facilities assured in a social security. Providing these facilities universally and publicly is called social security, but this is not available for the people working in unorganized sector. First, we will learn the meaning of social security. The meaning of social security means having minimum need to lead a life. That is basic requirements. Those are housing, health, water, food, drinking water, equal opportunity to work. So these are the basic facilities. When these basic facilities are available, it is called as social security. It is called as social security. When these basic facilities are not available, it leads to social insecurity. And this social insecurity is found among unorganized laborers. It's mainly found in unorganized sectors among the laborers. So, most of the unorganized sectors workers face social insecurity. So, these basic facilities are not available for the unorganized sectors. Next, we will learn about legal framework. For workers working in unorganized sector, many legal provisions do not apply at all. For example, these workers do not receive wages as per their work duration. The wages as per the Minimum Wage Act of 1971 are not available for these workers. Apart from this, they are also not eligible for Provident Fund and other such benefit. Next one is, we are talking about the legal framework. Unorganized sector. In unorganized sector, legal provision does not apply at all. For example, one example regarding Minimum Wage Act, which was implemented in the year 1971, are not available for these workers. And they are also not eligible for Provident Fund and other benefits. The fourth problem, child labor. Children work in unhealthy environment in many semi-skilled or unskilled jobs. For example, children work in large number in firecrackers production. They work in a dangerous environment and without any guarantee for life. The employer expects more work for less pay. Children become victim of this greedy. In nutshell, unorganized sector promotes child labor. Unorganized sectors had created one more problem and leading to child labor. Child below the age of 14 is forced to work in a dangerous job, that is unhealthy environment job, where it is dangerous job as well as there is no guarantee for their life. The children below 14 work in these dangerous environment and they are paid less pay. Physical and mental exploitation. Most of the women in unorganized sector work as domestic helpers. The rate of physical and mental exploitation of these women has doubled these days. As per the statistic of 2014 to 50, more than 77 percentage of women work in unorganized sector. Women are exploited sexually. Such incidents are being reported regularly. So remember, women in unorganized sectors work as domestic helpers, and moreover, the rate of physical and mental exploitation of these women has doubled in these days. And according to the census of 2014 to 15, more than 77% of women work in unorganized sector. Today's assignment: how is the labor section classified? Explain. The labor sector is divided into three categories: primary, secondary, tertiary. Based on the employment condition, these are further classified as organized and unorganized sectors. The organized sector is one that is incorporated with appropriate authority of government and follow its rules and regulations. On the other hand, unorganized sector can be understood as a sector which is not governed by law of the government. So this answer has to be written for the first question. Now second question, you will list out, that is, list out the difference between organized and unorganized workers. Second question, what are the difference between organized and unorganized workers? You can write 5 to 6 points in this. First, I'll explain about the organized workers. They work in specified field which are governed by rules and regulation. They get facilities like fixed wages, pension, provident fund, etc. They have specific hours to work. Organized sector is not very large. Next, unorganized sector. They work in areas which are not governed by rules and regulation. They earn daily wages. They work without any additional facilities and have no job security or fixed wages. The unorganized sector is vast. Third question, the problem faced by the workers in unorganized sector. Or instead of problem, they can ask you challenges faced by workers in unorganized sector. You will list out all the points and explain about them. That is, 4 points have to be explained: migration, social security, legal framework, childhood, and physical and mental exploitation. These are the points you have to list out and explain about it. First, migration. Migration workers are mainly found in unorganized sectors. They migrate from one place to another in search of work. So, such migrants do not have any social security. Second point, social security. Workers in unorganized sector face social insecurity. It is not possible to provide social security such as housing, health, food, drinking water, etc. to the workers in unorganized sector. Third point, legal framework. You will explain about minimum wage act here. Next one, child labor. The unorganized sector promotes child labor. Children work in unhealthy environment in semi-skilled or unskilled jobs. Last one is physical and mental exploitation. Most of the women in organized sector work as domestic helps. So these are the points you have to write in. The problems faced by the workers in unorganized sector. Children, have completed this lesson, and next session we'll start with a new lesson. Thank you, children.